Welcome back to Life at Octopus, the show where we highlight the people building Octopus Deploy, the stories behind the engineering, the growth, and the culture. Today, I'm joined by the one and only Rob Pearson. Rob is a longtime member of the Octopus team, starting out when we were just putting out Octopus 3.0, possibly out the door. I'm trying to test my memories now. And he's been instrumental in everything from our licensing systems and the super upgrade page to core development features like channels, elastic environments, multi-tenancy, etc. Rob lives and breathes continuous delivery. He has helped build our automation release process pipeline. He's helped build Octopus with Octopus. He's mastered the art of shipping. And so, Rob, thanks for being here. Let's jump in.
Thanks so much, John. Yeah, I'm super happy to be here, and let's jump in.
So, Rob is in Australia like he's also Canadian like myself. So, tell us a little bit about that.
So I grew up in Canada. I grew up in Calgary, and very coincidentally, John and I are from the same Canadian city. But I moved to Australia just to see more of the world and experience it. But I met an Australian girl who we're now married. We have a house, a dog. We used to have chickens and a bunch of kids, and so I'm here very much permanently. But I love Australia. It's my second home. And yeah, I've just grown personally, professionally, and even family wise. And so yeah, I feel very fortunate to live in Australia.
And Rob's been here at the company for 10 years. You just crossed your 10-year anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And yes, I it's really interesting. So I've just crossed over 10 years. Something I'd never thought I'd ever do at any company. So in tech, John, I imagine you're very similar in that you work for companies, and it's very common to go 2 to 4 years where you're at one company, then you shift to another, increased pay, increased responsibility, and diversity. But when I joined Octopus, I joined as a senior developer, and I did what I've done my entire career. I have a computer science degree. I'm a
Yep.
programmer, so I was helping build the product and helping make it awesome. But over my time, I had opportunities to learn and grow with encouragement, and I pursued other opportunities. So I went from software development. I dipped my toes in marketing and helped some of our product marketing efforts. And now I'm in our revenue organization as a solutions engineer, closer to our customers. So no, I feel very fortunate to have been at a company with great people and opportunities. And so, even though I've been at one company for that long, I've had many different roles and lots of experiences, and it's been fantastic.
What drew you to Octopus in the first place?
It was interesting. So, I've worked for I've mostly worked for large companies. So in Canada, large North American companies or Canadian companies. And when I moved to Australia, it was still medium, large, 1,000, 2,000 people, etc. So very mature companies. But I joined in 2015, and around that time, that's when iOS apps and mobile apps were getting really popular. And I started a company, my own little side hustle, building iOS apps, and I was getting really into product development. Most of the companies that I worked at were large organizations. So I built a timesheet app. I built line of business applications, and while those were great, I worked with some really good internal customers. I was looking to focus more on products, and I was aware of Paul Stovell, our founder, and what he was doing with Octopus. He blogged his journey, and there
Right.
was a point where he did a series of posts about growing Octopus and why it would be great to work at Octopus, and explained his philosophy. And it was, like, in a lot of ways, radically different. Everybody worked from home. You had freedom, you had trust. And this blog series, it was kind of the foundation of what is now our handbook. So our public
Right.
handbook about how we work and all that. But that blew me away. And so I was as keen to get a job, try and get on with Octopus as I could. But I knew it had really smart, some really great people, consultants, and other really wonderful people from the Brisbane community, Brisbane, Australia, where we started.
Yep.
But I put my hat in the ring. I had some luck and good fortune, and I was able to join the company. And that that shift of trust and great people and even opportunity was the thing that attracted me to joining Octopus.
And how big was the company when you joined?
So I was person number 12 at the
Oh,
time.
okay. That's awesome. And you joined. And what was your first role?
Software, our senior software developer. So that's the stage in my career that I was at, where essentially I was a senior dev, and I joined, and we had a range of basically senior programmers, mix of leads, really, really smart, wonderful people.
And what were the first kind of days and weeks for you at the company? Were you thrown in kind of head first into a feature? What were some of the things that you first built out?
Well, it was interesting. So when I joined at a point in time where the team, the core team, which was about ten other developers plus Paul,
Yep.
were trying to get Octopus 3.0 out the door. So version 2 was a big rewrite. Version 3 added a lot of bigger features that customers had been asking for and really
Hmm.
kind of matured the solution. So when I joined, there was like one, the train was moving on that. So I joined and I was working on a handful of supporting things. And
Okay.
so some of the first tasks I was working on was working with Paul on our commercial website to prepare for this. And so you were mentioned the super upgrade page. So
Yep.
Octopus, we had several versions and several different license styles and types. And so our customers, we had a perpetual license in those days. So you buy it once. And so customers would want to upgrade. And when they did that, they would enter their license key, and so it was all self-service motion. So that was one of my first projects that I worked on.
Nice. I like it.
Shortly, oh, sorry, I was just going to say, shortly after that, we started multi-tenancy, which was one of the pillar features that Octopus had. So those early days had some very interesting projects.
Awesome. Yeah, multi-tenancy is one of those things that I think was sort of revolutionary for us because, as folks know, for folks who use Octopus, it's often cited as the sort of top feature that people want. When you first start out using Octopus, a lot of people don't use tenancy as much, multi-tenancy as much, but the more mature organizations, the more you mature as an organization with Octopus, the more you gravitate towards multi-tenancy. So you were part of that.
Yeah, I was fortunate to be part of the team, and this was kind of a reflection of those early days of small group, very focused, very customer focused, where we built it out relatively quickly, got it out, got feedback, and iterated. And it is one of those pillar features where for customers who have a similar use case, it just really can simplify things and allow them to manage things at scale much easier. So no, it was a fantastic feature to help start, but since we've had other teams enhance
Oh
it
yeah.
and grow it. So yeah, no, but it's a great feature.
Hey, that's a nice place to plant your flag and say I was part of that. So anyway, shifting gears into your career journey and growth, you've been here for, as we said, 10 years. Congratulations again. What do you think has kept you motivated and inspired to be at Octopus?
So that it's really interesting because again, I never thought I'd be anywhere for 10 years because keeping being interested in doing the same thing for that long. But I think there's two main things that I thought about that kept me here, and I can mention, I could tell a million stories, but
Sure.
it's the people. So
Okay.
when I first joined, we were a very small group, but it's some of the most fun I've had at work ever, and that's continued, and it's all because of the people, smart people who are genuine, caring, all moving in the same direction and helping each other. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't have disagreements or not arguments, but technical discussions, heated discussions, passionate discussions about different architectural approaches or things like that. That always happens. But everybody kind of works together and comes to a an agreement and supports each other. So it's been a wonderful journey and worked with really great people this whole time. John and I, we were on the same team for a while as well, and so I can echo that. But the other one is opportunity. So I joined when we were very small, and people wore a lot of hats, and that was the point where um, I like talking to people. I like trying new things. There were all these things. So when there were opportunities, I pursued them and with support and encouragement. And so that's how I dipped my toes into marketing, shifting from development into it. I had a role called the Octopus Release Champion, where I helped write our announcement blog posts, do our launches, social media, do a bunch of the marketing things to help
Yep.
communicate the great work our team did. And so then I went deeper into marketing. I helped lead and grow some of our efforts, but then even shift to the revenue org and solutions engineering. But the whole time has been new opportunities, learning and growing. And so personally and professionally, I feel like I won the lottery. It's been very, very supportive and rewarding.
Any advice you'd give to someone who's kind of finding themselves in the same position where they're kind of changing roles or wearing multiple hats? Is that something you would encourage, or is there any lessons you learned along the way?
It's really interesting. That's a great question, but it can be scary. Like when I shifted from development, software development, my degree, my entire career to marketing, it was really scary because what happens if it doesn't work out? But
Lead
trying
gen? What's that? What are you talking? What is a lead?
Yeah. So there's all these new concepts, and you're a fish out of water, but it's rewarding. Working in product marketing, I got to collaborate with all of our product managers. So there was this constant engagement with really, really wonderful people. And it's scary, but I was fortunate at Octopus because there was support along the way. And I made plenty of mistakes. I there's a long list there, but there was support through that process. And so really I started small, but then I grew and gained responsibility. I helped some of the leadership. And so it was very, very rewarding, but it was a great thing to try. I knew that I enjoyed programming, like in software development. I knew I was pretty good at it, but I knew I wanted to try other things. And so that was I was in an environment where I could do that and grow and learn. And so I highly recommend it. And essentially, if there's an opportunity out there and you see it, you can't really wait for it to come to you. You need to kind of you can sometimes that works out, but go after it, try something. So it's not for everybody, but it's worked out really well for me.
Yeah, my background is similar to you, in the sense that I have a technical background. I have a computer science degree myself, and I now am in marketing. And what I found is that I can apply my skill set to marketing in a way to kind of like almost have, it's almost like having a cheat code in a sense, because you can cut code, etc. It's like, well, I'm just going to automate all my tasks so I can focus on what's important. And so, are there any skills or experiences that you gained in one role that allowed you to exceed in the next? For example, like you're in revenue now, so I would imagine you're applying the things you learned in marketing, the things you learned obviously when pursuing your computer science degree. Are you doing those sort of revenue hacks, so to speak, in revenue now?
I The interesting thing, having a technical background, I think benefits you if you ever go out of the programming world. So you have those skills for automation using the tools and technologies. AI is becoming a big thing. And so learning, again, continuously learning, seeing how these new tools, approaches, and innovations can help you is very, very beneficial. And so like that technical background was critical. But then marketing really encouraged me to, one, try new things, but also communicate more clearly and concisely. And it's still something that I'm working on, but it was clear communication and how to simplify complex ideas and share that with others, because we have the technical background. We like, people can also share that with others. You have some communication skills, simplifying it so it can be understood. That was a big thing. And that stayed with me when I shifted to revenue as well. Again, the technical background is a foundation, but then the like a big thing in marketing, again, clear communication, working with people was very valuable, but it really removed a lot of fear, or something I've gained in sales, working with customers, having introductions to new companies. It's really not being afraid to join these things, to jump on a Life at Octopus session, to really jump in and try and communicate. So yeah, a lot of it it's helped me, but it also gives you an appreciation or empathy for those other groups, because there's a healthy tension between sales and marketing and R&D, that we need these things, they have to build it, they they're trying to build something that we have to sell. it's all about working together and you can understand the other side. So it's been really, really useful.
I think you've already alluded to this, but I was going to ask anyway about your current role in the revenue team. What do you enjoy there? What are some of the things that you really like doing as part of that group?
It's a great question, and I really wish I found like so I'm a solutions engineer, and I wish I had found this earlier in my career. So it for me personally, it's the right mix of people, kind of talking to customers, um, learning about them, understanding their problems, how we could help them, and that really great communication there, mixed with the tech, which is you still have how do you automate this? How do you build this? What is your tech stack? All the technical side, but it's the mix of those two technologies and meeting new people, learning about their environment, their ecosystem, what's important to them, and like kind of marrying that with technology and the innovations because nothing's staying still. So um, for me, shifting to becoming a solutions engineer and to the revenue org has been so rewarding. And like if I had to tell my earlier self something, it would have been to try to do this. There were hints at it throughout my career, but I wish I had have found it earlier.
That's interesting you say that because I was going to ask you about any lessons or advice you'd have. Maybe if this was Rob of 10 years older talking to Rob first year at Octopus, what would be one of the biggest lessons you would share with younger Rob about what you've learned in the last 10 years?
Well, there's a lot of things that I would tell
Well, I tell you,
younger.
computers these days.
Oh boy, younger Rob wasn't that it was misguided, but I tried a lot of things which helped me find what I enjoy. But it would be like I really focused on the technical side in my career for a long, long time. I wanted to be the best programmer. I wanted to understand, um, do the best software design, architecture, and there were a lot of principles like that. And I love the analytical and technical nature of it, but I didn't realize until later that one of the other things that really I found rewarding was communicating and working with people. So learning that it made me success. It helped me be successful as a programmer and building apps that were actually useful. But it also helped me break into these new careers. So, like I said, I wish I could have found uh, sales and like but still the solutions engineering side, the technical side, the technical background earlier, because I feel like it's just so rewarding when you work with a customer, you learn about them, you understand their pain points, you help them understand how something could help them, and then you see it in effect. One of the first customers that I ever worked with who bought Octopus is growing and expanding greatly. They're doubling their size now, and it just shows the value and that it adds to them and how it's helping them. And I got to be a part of it. They're a wonderful team. It's so great to see.
I'm curious to know. I have to ask, what do you find more rewarding? Code that works well, or a customer that doubles in size, as you just stated?
Oh, that's so fun. Like so code that works well. Like it's funny. I still get to talk to and work with our R&D team a lot. So the engineering team and all of that, and the the technical
Come on,
side,
say it,
the
say it.
product.
You know
Oh,
that tech
it's
side of you is
working with
coming out.
customers, working with customers, every day. But like the product, they're doing such a great job. There's these
Yeah,
innovations, and we get to show off their hard work, which is a great privilege. But seeing customers light up when they see how something can help them,
yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like it's amazing on a call when you show them how say Octopus could help them and address their pain points, and they see it and their eyes just light up. It's mind-blowing and it's so rewarding to see them adopt it and actually see that value.
If you had asked me that same question when I was in my 20s, I would have said code. But now that I'm a parent, as like you, I think it's more about helping others. Becoming a father and raising two boys has taught me the value of seeing other people succeed. So I'm with you. I love it when other people succeed. And to that
Yeah,
end, we're we're now gonna face the rapid fire part of this segment of life at Octopus, where we ask a series of questions. So here we go. All right, Rob has not seen these questions. So, first answer that comes to mind, just go from your gut. What was the first Octopus release you worked on?
I was probably 3.1.
All right, 3.1. Not 3, eh? We're just getting clarity there.
No,
All right.
no, yeah, I didn't touch 3 because the
Okay.
team was very focused on that, so I think 3.1.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. Tabs or spaces?
It's spaces. Easy.
All right. One tool you can't live without.
Pastebot. It's probably one of
Pastebot.
my favorite Pastebot. So it's a clipboard ring on Mac OS, and
Oh,
it
okay.
just
Okay.
suits. It suits my workflow so well. And there's a lot of newer ones, but if there
Yeah.
was one, it always comes back to that.
Good. I'll have to check it out. A DevOps buzzword that you secretively like.
Oh gosh, I have no idea. Um,
Let's see. We got platform
um,
engineering. We got
uh,
agile. We've got CI, CD. We've got what other buzzwords we can?
I'll throw
Pipeline.
out pipeline is great. I was going to say
Uh,
platform engineering because I'm working with the
mm,
platform engineering team right now, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, I'll say pipeline.
All right, cool. What's the most Rob Pearson Slack emoji? What's the one you use the most? Thumbs up
Oh, that I use. Um,
or one that represents you, maybe?
it might be that, like,
The OK
the
symbol?
yes,
Got
there's
it.
that one. Yeah, there's
All right.
okay or awesome. We have one that's very
Yeah.
smiley, or the wave.
I uh
All of
I
those.
started popularizing, I think, because I started using the nice one. It's like, it's kind of it's both complimentary, but it's also a little bit cynical at sometimes. Because if
Yeah,
if
and
you're reacting to something that's clearly negative and you say nice, people know what you mean. So I like that one.
everybody has their own style. So no, that's
Yes.
great.
Yeah. Favorite conference memory, speaking booth, or hallway chat? You've been to
It's
AWS
been
reInvent a few times with Octopus, for
I
example.
did, and that AWS reInvent was amazing, but it's just overwhelming. There's so many people. When my my f- that was an amazing conference. So
Okay.
when I
We're
went,
going
that was
back
in
this year.
2019.
Yes.
AWS reInvent. We had a small team there, and we had such like we'd work all day. You're just flooded with people in the booth,
Yep. Yep.
and then you have a time. You have dinner together. You have one or two drinks, and it's just a time to reset.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the memories and the friendships from those days still last today. It was
That's awesome.
fantastic.
Awesome. Best Aussie food you've adopted as your own since moving here.
There's nothing like a sausage sizzle. So
Okay.
that's just cooking snags. Even the budding sausage. There's a
Yeah.
lot of those. So
There you
yeah,
go.
very
Awesome.
very common in our house.
And then wrapping up, if Octopus wasn't your career, what would you be doing instead?
So that's interesting. I think this might be similar for you, but I would say it'd probably be a trade of some sort, either
Yep.
an electrician, possibly, or a carpenter. So, at my own home, at my last house was a fixer-upper, and we renovated almost every room. So, had I found that earlier in my life, maybe I would have gone down that path instead of
I
the technical one.
I totally agree. Just for you, because I've seen your photos up on the DIY Slack channel we have internally at Octopus, and they're always of, "Hey, I decided to do a little project here," and it's like the whole thing's bulldozed, and I'm like, "That's not a little project. That's a big, big thing." And I was like,
I'd love to
visions
say
of,
I volunteer or I they were my little projects, but it's always my wife's vision that
oh,
we complete
gotcha.
together. But
Oh, there you go.
it's sometimes I'm voluntold.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Well, there you go. There you have it. That's Rob Pearson for you folks. Thanks again, Rob, for joining us. We really appreciate it here at this episode of Life at Octopus. Great to hear about your career path here at Octopus, and here's to the next 10 years at Octopus Deploy.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, John. This was
Awesome.
great.
Awesome. Cheers. See you on the next one, folks.